Hello, hello, hello. It's Thursday. Welcome to Fresh Chats with Dr. B. Y'all, I'm so excited to have you here. As people start to come in and watch us, we're going to dive straight in because we only have 30 minutes for our chat and it's so much juiciness for y'all to get this evening. So, without further ado, I won't delay to introduce my special guest for the evening, Principal Rickyl. Did I say it right, Rickyl?
Yes, you did wonderful.
Principal Rickyl Wesson, and I am going to bring her in at this time. Y'all help me welcome my special guest. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I love you. One of my favorite principals. I do this work. I be in these schools
Yes.
across the country, and you always can tell when somebody has a heart, not only for the kids, but having a heart for the kids means you have to have a heart for the teachers because the teachers got to take care of the kids. So I always love the work that you do. I want you to just introduce yourself to the people, let them know who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right into our conversation.
All right. Well, good evening. My name is Miss Rickyl Wesson. I am currently the principal at George Washington Carver 6th grade STEM Learning Center in Lancaster. It's my third year there, my fourth year as a campus principal. I was 1 year in Cedar Hill at Plummer Elementary. I am really big on instruction. People don't know that, but I'm mostly known for climate and culture because I believe that you can teach anybody. You can be able to teach, but you can't reach people unless you love them. You make them feel special. You empower them, and so my main focus is culture, campus morale, and culture.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me this evening. I'm going to hop straight to our topic. So, for those of y'all that saw our post previously, today we're going to be talking about the pandemic effects and recovery for principals in schools and the importance of the local school boards for equity in schools. So, we kind of have two focuses of our conversation. And we're going to start out with the first one, and then we're going to have a hard transition into the second one because I think both are equally important. And if I only got you for 30 minutes, I'm going to get a little tea on everything. Okay. So, let's hop right into discussing some of the effects of the pandemic. So before we hear from you, I want to share with you. So I was reading this article, and this is what I said, oh, we got to talk about this on Thursday. So the National Association of Secondary Principals, they did this survey with over 500 principals across the country, from private to traditional schools to charter schools. Everybody is what I like to say. And when it came to this research, what they found, this is of our conversation.
Sorry, I was trying to share your page.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was we got an echo. Okay, so what they found was that they were really four big takeaways that they're finding right now with the principals across the country. Okay, so this is what they found out. The first finding was if we continue on this same course, there will be a mass exodus of principals from our pre-K through 12 schools. Okay, so everybody's been talking about the mass exodus of teachers, which is already like a dumpster fire because it's like, oh, Lord, we can't stand to lose no teachers. But on top of that, nobody is really having a conversation about the principals, right? We saw in our area like 9 superintendents that just chunked the deuce like, nah, we're not going to do this. And we know they get paid good money. They get paid the top money in the district. So when the people that getting paid big figures be like, nah, y'all can have this. Like we got to start really questioning, what we finna do here? Okay, so that was the first finding. The second finding was that COVID has drastically impacted the principal's role and challenges, and the challenges that principals are facing in their school. Duh, we knew that. Okay. The third one was that the tense political environment is accelerating some schools' leaders' decision to leave the profession. We know that's really thick in certain areas. And then the fourth one was that traditional work-related conditions continue to impact principals' decisions to leave the role. And it's like overwhelmingly they're saying like, say y'all, is the mic on? Like these people finna be gone. Like people, what are you about to do? So I just wanted to first mention those findings that they talked about, but then to get your opinion because you're in the field, you're a principal, you've been doing this work for a while, you do good work. But talk to us about what's going on with your experiences, you know, maybe your thoughts about what I just said. I'm gonna just let you just have at it.
Well, honestly, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay.
This
Hey,
is a
girl.
production technique.
Oh, okay.
Let you have the stage.
So honestly, the findings are very, very accurate. Right now, it's just hard in general as far as, especially if you're unorthodox, creative, in the mix, very, very relevant, involved. So you try to have any just as small as pep rallies, how lunch is done. You can already go ahead and put in there the gaps that children had before they were at home for a year and a half, before virtual learning was even an option. And I just think that virtual learning also just takes this thing to a whole nother level, because now everybody wants to be home for random reasons, but he can log on or she can just log on. No, because if you didn't have these computers, what would you do? I gotta go out of town. Can he go? Can he be virtual? No, he cannot. So it just makes it very, very hard to stay involved. I think it also raises the level of frustration on everybody's parts: parents, teachers, administrators, and behavior problems have increased. The children are struggling socially. Humans were put on this planet to interact. So when you take a third grader, because now who I have, they were in third grade.
Yes, because you in sixth grade.
Right. So when the pandemic first hit, they were in the third grade. They never came back to reality. So mentally, some of them are in the third grade as far as socially. How do you interact socially? Oh, he looked at me. Well, he has eyes. So these type of things just affected everything, not just academically, but how we interact with each other. Just remember that we do have rules. We do have a proper way to sit here. We do have a proper way to respond to each other. And so I think that's the biggest thing that the pandemic did, was the social impact on education.
I can definitely see that. And a lot of people don't even consider, I'm going to say this briefly, I'm going to go left, but I'm going to come back. Because I'm in higher ed now, but I'm teaching Comp 1 and Comp 2. And so the students are in college now, and their last full year of like having an actual school experience for some of them, like we're like sophomores in high school.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, this ain't just like everybody is impacted in such a major way. And I just keep seeing the levels to it. So I'm glad to have you to talk about that. But I want to backtrack a little bit, because I'm going to talk about what I love about you, girl. Let me give you your flowers while you're here, honey.
Okay. Thank you.
So Principal Wesson is one of those people who we kind of came up the ranks together. I'm going to share this briefly too. I once interviewed for assistant principal position. Both of us were interviewing for the same position, and because we were in the same district, we knew. And so when I got in the interview, I'm prepared. I'm doing my stuff. I'm good with my words. I know how to talk. And they tell me what they need, and I'm like, oh. See, Weston is a strong math background. He was a phenomenal math teacher. Like move kids. I mean, like they used to be rocking. And so I get an interview, and they like, oh, the last person that was here was a really strong math person. Da, da, da. Now, in my head, you can do one or two things in an interview. You can finesse people and try to come up with and say words. Like that's really what you're going to do. Right? But I sat there in that interview and I said, I think y'all probably need to hire Rickyl Wesson for this position. And they were like, what happened? I was like, I know what I'm here for, but I think in order for you to get what you're looking for, like what's going to be best for students, you probably want to hire Rickyl, because she's like really great at all the math stuff, and she like gets into it. And then I remember when you got the job, I was like, perfect. I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Allow the Lord to use you, sister. Allow the Lord to use you. I'm forever grateful.
Baby, listen, I'm like, it's enough jobs to go around. People be trying to step on each other and dig dirt. I'd be like, I think I'm not the best person, but let me tell you who you should consider. But anyway, that's random. But that's just a nod to you and your phenomenal work, especially when I saw you connect with students in the math classroom, because I know for a lot of our students, and I was one of them, I struggled with math so much because people couldn't make it relevant to me. They couldn't help me understand how this connected to my real life, my lived experience. It was just equations on the board that were abstract, and it didn't make a lot of sense to a girl like me that needed the concrete. And so I want to commend you for that and the work that you've done in math, because it's phenomenal, especially for our students to have that. But I want to pivot, because we're talking about principals, to the work that you do on your campus. And so some of the things that I've seen you do over the years, like for instance, this past holiday, I was like, what's she doing now? All her whole team at the wing spot, y'all. Look at this. I mean, they got matching jerseys. I'm like, this is coordination right here, because it's not just the front of the jersey. Y'all look at it. Everybody's names on the back of the jerseys. They go on outings. They have opportunities where food trucks at the school are pulling up. It's always something popping off and with the kids in their houses. And so I wanted you to just share with some principals that may be watching, like, what is it that drives you? In terms of the creativity, how do you leverage the like how do you make it work like you do? And then how are you able to still sustain that freshness now that you are feeling the strain of the pandemic effects?
I think for me, as a lot of people always tell me, you should do a program, you should do a seminar for principals.
And should.
Honestly, I've never done it because I truly believe that what moves me and why I'm so great, I can't teach it. I can't teach you to genuinely want to make people happy. I can't teach you to listen. I can tell you to listen. I can encourage you to listen, but the things that make me a great principal is just who I am as a person on an everyday basis. So I genuinely enjoy to see people happy. I genuinely care about the person. It bothered me as a teacher if someone was just like, "You're late." What? Can you ask me what happened? Are you sure that everything was okay this morning? So those are the things that make me special and make me different. I think it's other principals out there that do it, but that's why I haven't ever tried to do a seminar, because I believe I can't teach you to be a genuinely happy person.
I'm gonna push back here while we have an audience, and I'm gonna speak this on this mic right now.
Uh-huh.
To you, it feels natural and organic and whatever. It's great, but if you can figure out, and I know you're a smart girl and you can, how to package it and help people, because I've had, especially for me, my experience, this is not a generalization to all men. My male principals, they didn't used to get that heart part, right? We talk about in leadership, the head or the heart, which one are you leading with, and trying to have a balance. A lot of my
You have to lead with both. So
you
I'm
have
gonna
to
work on
balance
that.
both. You
But
should. I'm telling you, they could use some tips, tricks. Try this. Start here. They could use it, and you've be the perfect person to pitch it to them. You got pictures, videos. You got receipts. That's what they
I
need.
do, period. But I do believe that it comes from being fresh, right? Because when we were both going into master teacher roles, when we were sitting there, we were told by different people, hey, once you get to the top, you got to stop talking to these people. You got to stop doing this. And so I always felt like, but why? Like, if I take this role, I know how to be confidential. I know what's supposed to be said and what's not. I don't necessarily want to be the us against them, the admin
Right.
against me. We're them, we're us, and they're them.
Yeah.
Type thing. So I never am afraid to say, hey, how are you? How's your son? I don't need all the details. I don't need to know if you're going through a divorce or anything unless you want to tell me that. But I am going to always ask you, hey, is there anything I can do to assist you in being better? I'm
But
going to remind you
Rickyl,
that you're late.
isn't that what not just education, but work environments, especially now, like, isn't that what I feel like millennials are doing differently in terms of, we've been told, like, even in the classroom, you got to go in first, you got to make sure. And it's like, but what if I want to just talk to the student? Like, what if I really want to build? Like, what if I do care about what's going on with a teacher and I just want to sit with her and say, girl, what's going on with you? Like, those heart connections, I feel like, are maybe the difference in that hard, rigid leadership that some of us saw modeled for us, versus this real wanting to be a servant leader, in terms of, like, I put the other people that I am charged with leading and their interest in what's happening. And I had to learn that being a leader. I remember when you said being late, I had one teacher, I used to come outside, I didn't have no kids, I didn't have no husband. I'm in this building, baby. I'm working. And I remember this teacher one time was late, and I was like, this is the third time, we're gonna girl, why her grandma had died. Died. When I tell you, I was
you have to ask. You have to ask.
Pick up my face so fast, and then try to reverse and be like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, do you need to take some time? It's like, but leading with the heart is what I feel like you're explaining. But I do think some people can be coached around, because it's a mindset. And even if you had to tell them, like, here's some questions to ask yourself as a leader. Have I this month considered how I will brighten the mood on my campus or lift the spirits? Like, even just giving them a blueprint, I feel like would be, that's just
I'll work on that. But that really is important, especially just, sometimes even as a teacher, I was a real serious teacher. You used to be like, why are you dressed up so much? Yeah. But like, even in the hallways, sometimes we get caught up in having conversation with adults. So sometimes you just have to listen. Like, listen to people, listen to the kids, feel energies, go into rooms, get out of the office, go into the rooms, have mid-year conversations with people. And some of those conversations when you have a mid-year reviews with your teachers, you are telling them about things they're good at, things they can grow on, but you also say, hey, what is something that you wanted to do personally that you haven't got to do? You know, that's what happened. That's how we ended up doing Jamie's makeover. She talked about, you know, because I'm real big on appearance, right? I'm real big on, hey, we come in here, when we dress a certain way, we deliver a certain way. I believe that. I don't care what nobody say. People say my teachers should wear jeans. We can, but iron them and get the best shirt you can put with them. It makes sense.
Hold on, I'm gonna interject this right here because I wrote this down from a class I was taking earlier. Deion Sanders said, when you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, they pay good. Okay. That's to your point.
So when I talked about that, she talked about, I just really, you know, I want to look better. And I'm like, you look great. And she's like, I haven't had my hair done. So anyway, you know, then we did the whole surprise makeover thing.
Yes.
I'm just real big on that. I remember when I was AP at Rosa Parks, it was a you know, school times were different. Elementaries and middle schools. And I literally took someone's kid to school. Once we got the day started, I'm going to take your kid to school because it's a different time here. It just, you know, just going above and beyond, taking yourself out, taking the position out of it. I mean, I'm still a human, and remembering that you were a teacher at one point. So what were things that you didn't like, that administrators, because all of us have had wonderful administrators, but there's some things we didn't like about them. So what did you not like? And then change those things to make people feel comfortable. I believe that any teacher that I've ever had under me, because I always say you work with me, not for me. Exactly. I believe that I can get them to go anywhere in the world with me. And I believe that I can get them to do anything for me because they know I have their back. I support them. And I love them. And I always used to tell them in staff meetings, you don't have to like me. You don't have to want to be here with me. But as a professional, you should try to work every day so that if I wanted to take you, I would ask you to come with me and you have the opportunity to tell me no. But you should always want to be that type of employee where if a principal gets an elevation or does whatever, you say, hey, I want you with me. I want you on my team. And so I think encouraging and pouring into people and also being real, talking about what you did as a teacher, how you messed up. I tell people I've come a long way.
Keeping it 100. That's so important. That's one of the tenets in the first class. So you have to be able to keep it. And my thing is about the transparency and being humble. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not walking around like I'm better than you. At the end of the day, I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you do. And that's why I always say I'm not a respecter of persons. I spend time in the state capitol with people that's legislators and important and titles and whatever. Or if I'm working with the janitor here at the campus, like everybody has a role to play and with excellence. And so it's like I treat everybody with the same respect that I expect them to treat me with. But okay, let's pivot because so let's turn from the principal conversation to you recently had made an announcement that caught me off guard on Facebook. Bam. Okay.
Hey, look.
Okay. So
she's me and I am she.
The DeSoto ISD School Board place 1. Okay, she's real, relevant, resilient. Okay. So I said, look at my friend out here finna, and we already had this scheduled. I was like, I'm glad I got her because she's finna be big time. This is exclusive, a fresh chat exclusive, baby. VIP. I got candidates for office now. So why you chose to have a school board run in DeSoto? First of all, congratulations for throwing your hat in there. You know, I always say we get only as strong as the boards that govern us. So talk to us about why you chose to run and what you're looking forward to.
I chose to run because I'm an advocate for children. I'm an advocate for children. I'm an advocate for educators. Okay. I believe that I remember when DeSoto was one of the top schools in the city, academically and athletically. And it's no secret that everybody's losing kids left and right. And so I'm like, I have a kid and I want him to be, if I chose, want him to be able to go to DeSoto and DeSoto is back nationally ranked. And I believe that with my creativity, passion, desire to see people be successful. You always ask me, how do you get to do that? I know some people, hey, let's pull some things in here. Let's have some more exposure. Let's have incentives. Let's be relevant to retain and recruit highly qualified professionals into this. So I just wanted to bring that to DeSoto, to where I am. I have experience in a budget. How can we allocate funds properly to bring initiatives to the district, to bring experiences, to the district. I know, my son is in private school, so I know that's going to be a question. Why doesn't he go to DeSoto? So I want to be able to effectively allocate funds to bring experiences that he is experiencing there to where he could be there. And so I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. I'm so supportive, and so I think the last part of this conversation is really a focus around the importance of the local board. I know one thing that is very frustrating for me is that, like I said, I spent time doing advocacy stuff at the state level, and what I found out was like, okay, there's a lot of politics going on here. A lot of people politicking and saying this and doing that, and I quickly realized like I really need to focus my efforts on the local level. And so we just moved into Dallas ISD, and so getting plugged in with the representatives here, I think it's important for people to understand how your money is being used at the local board level and how it's being used and who's okay. Let me walk carefully here. Whose desires are being met are the people that are coming, making the most noise, showing up, but not putting on pressure. And a lot of times, some of the most marginalized groups, they don't have time to be coming up to a board and they working like multiple jobs. They have to have people that advocate for them. And so if you had to say, what's the importance of the local board? People don't show up to vote sometimes in the school board elections. They don't even know what's the point of it. What would you say, or how would you explain that to somebody that usually doesn't participate or understand how important the local school board is and what they do for the schools in their area?
I mean, again, the school board is there to advocate for children and make the best decision for children to grow academically. So that goes all the way down to something that's the academic calendar, all the way to who's going to be the superintendent of that district, who has a great vision to support academic success. And so I think it is very, very important to vote for all elections, school boards. You talk about, I remember when we were in Lancaster and people would be complaining about the number of children in a certain, the middle school. At one time, the middle school was smaller, but it was over capacity at one point. You need to get into these board meetings. There are bonds that are on these board meetings that need to be passed to build another school. Even when you talk about taxes, those type of things, those enhance schools. Like if you want another school, you have to go in and hear the board, hear what's being presented to them, and you talk about bonds and those type of things. So the board has a very, very tough job as far as advocating for children when a lot of people don't get involved in it. So you are making great decisions. You even talk about an ice day, or if school's gonna be closing, things of that nature. So it's very, very, very important. And I think that everybody needs to be more in tune with voting and more in tune, even if you tap in live, if you go in person, to check out board meetings and what's presented to them, and then see how the decisions that they make off of what's presented to them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know in my area, I didn't realize that at the Dallas board meetings, they were having these conversations about critical race theory. Like I was looking at other school districts like, oh, they over there talking about this critical race theory. And I was like, oh, hold on, they doing that in Dallas too? And so, I had to go make a statement last month just to make sure the board members know, hey, these racial equity initiatives that y'all are doing, this stuff matters. And we are voters too. And we are looking to make sure you sustain growth and progress. And we have to go hold board members accountable. And I tell you, I'm not going to say how many of those board members reached out to me personally after I came and made my statement, because they cannot respond. See, people see board meetings and they see people come up and rip board members a new one. Man, this man ripped everybody to shreds at the last meeting I was at. And I was just sitting there like, dang, they can't say anything.
And
I
when the citizens get to come up and they had like their
they
can't say anything.
They have their comments, and board members can't even respond and be like, but that's not even true, or that's not even what we're doing, or like, do you have some evidence? Do you have receipts? They can't say nothing. They just have to sit there and listen while people come make public comments. And so I was like, I feel like it has to be on us to get more involved. And for me, it was a matter of being educated. When I had started to learn, because I was in these policy institutes, like, oh, this is how all of this is moving. This is how when this money comes here, the board has to decide what's going to happen. And the board has to hold the superintendent accountable for when this and that is coming up. Oh, okay. Now I see. Now the board is representing the people. And then the people choose who will govern the school. But I think people have been so disempowered and disenfranchised that they don't even realize they have the power to say, you are my board member. We're looking at these outcomes for students because that's what it's all about. If we're looking
Right.
at these student outcomes and they are in the trash, I want to know, what are you doing about this, this, and this, and this, or else we voting for another person.
Correct.
And so I love the fact that you're running. I feel like you have the receipts to show your body of work is years in the making, and that you will be a magnificent asset to any school board.
Thank
Um,
you.
and so I just had to put that out there because, baby, people don't understand, but I think it's with great intention that they don't understand because some people win
Yeah,
when
I
they do.
don't think that is intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we also have to go out and educate them. Hey, come join us. Welcome them. I think the partnership is what's important. I
Mm-hmm.
think even in the school, sometimes they'll walk in and they'll have like parents. Sometimes I've had in the past where they'll have this perception that you think I think something about you because I have to have a master's to hold this seat. But I'm a single parent too. I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired too. I cried last night just like you. I'm trying to figure this thing out. So I think that making people feel comfortable to join you in a movement because people are not comfortable because of what you might think I think about you because
Mm-hmm.
our paths are different. To We took different paths,
Yeah.
but that's why I put relevant on there.
Yeah.
I'm again when I told a parent before that I'm a single parent, I mean, just the weight that got off of them to be like, okay, now we can talk. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
But
because
they
they were
just
defensive, but then they
right.
like, "Oh, okay,
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 she
you
is
see
like
me?
me,
I see, ooh, girl,
I'm
I've been trying. I don't even know what to do with them."
right. And I think that's the biggest part when I say relevant, real relevant. Like when I
Mhm,
go out and start campaigning, doing something, just being comfortable. You can talk to me. I'm no, like you said, I put my pants on just like you. I'm no
mhm,
better than you. I just decided to do something different. But that
mhm.
being making people comfortable to me is the most important thing to get movement and traction and
Yeah.
working in a partnership.
Yeah, and to
Is
get the buy-in, I really feel like that's what you get because you lead with your heart and you show them your humanity. That you get more buy-in, whether it's from your teachers or your students,
Mhm.
or people that have worked with you as previous colleagues like me. I'm still bought into your brand, and I still believe that whatever you do and touch is going to be great. And so, I'd love to support you however I can. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, and so let me tell the people that are here still watching.
Mhm.
I'm always looking for ways. Every Thursday, I'm here at 7 p.m. I want to know how we can support you. Leave your comment below if there's any specific topics that you're struggling with right now that you say, I wish you had a guest that can give us some tips or tricks or some advice about a certain thing. You can feel free to just drop your comment there, and I will see it on whatever platform you're streaming from after we get done. And
Did somebody
also,
have a question today? I
huh?
saw you put up there. Do you have a question? I saw some
I
people.
didn't know people were making comments like a amen hallelujah chorus
Oh,
over there, but they weren't I'm gonna show you some of them. They weren't asking any questions. They were
okay.
saying stuff like, oh, hold on, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
look at Brandy. Hey, girl.
Brandy had to chime in. Hold on, let me go back to the
That's
comment.
my friend.
See, Brandy said, good evening, my beautiful sister. See, they over here
Yeah, girl.
look, cherish.
Look at
Hey
Cherry.
y'all, power and prayers to the educators. It's
Yes,
all of that.
praise.
And you
Oh,
should see
she's
they
talking about doing a. She thinks I should do a seminar.
see, I'm trying to tell you. Um And Will, see, she was still giving you the amen, hallelujah. Simpson, two of my girls. See,
Yes.
they over here, they was just giving love and light. They ain't had no questions or no comment, or they
Hey,
just had
listen,
comments.
empowering each other.
I
I
love it.
just
I
want
love
to
to see it.
say, just to the parents that are out there, I'm not saying that educators are perfect. I'm not saying that we don't mess up. But what I'm saying is that the majority of the time, more times than not, we don't wake up with intentions of picking on your child. We don't wake up with intentions of going into the school and say, I'm gonna mess with Johnny today and I'm gonna make him mad. Anytime someone calls you, it is for real because we probably given about 8 to 10 warnings before we called you. And my favorite line from a parent is, "I'm at work." Me too.
As am I.
I'm at work too. I'm just real big on that partnership thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, ma'am, listen. I
Yeah.
have a child too, and children do not tell the truth all the time.
Oh,
He's
baby.
not going to tell me the truth all the time, and I do believe everybody knows their kid, but I just feel like I'm
Yeah.
really big on that. Like if
Yeah.
I call you, ma'am, I promise you I'm not lying. I
Yeah.
promise you I'm not making this up. You
Yeah.
know, I want to normalize getting these cell phones out of these buildings. Let's normalize.
Oh, now you know I ain't for that. Now, come on now. What we
No,
gonna do?
let me tell you why.
But
I'm
my
all
kid
for
can't go to sixth
technology
grade
and
without no
moving.
phone. My kid can't go in nobody's schoolhouse in no sixth grade without no phone. What am I do when something pop off?
Okay, let me say not take it away completely, but they stop texting your mama at school and not telling the truth, and then it's a whole Facebook fiasco of
Okay.
a status about this somebody that got shot at the school and that didn't happen, or
You know what
somebody got.
I think we need I think we need upgraded schools. We need, so you remember how we used to have lockers? Okay, nobody have lockers. I think we need little slots. We could put the phone in like in the classroom, like check it in like a little something. D. Put your phone in there so we can still use it in the class for something productive. But then when we're not using it, you can D. Put it right here and
But
still
let me
have
tell you
them.
something. I'm all for that. However, even when we have Chromebooks, these kids are the smartest kids ever. They can hack anything. So I can give you your phone to be, to work and be
I'm just
creative.
saying if
But
it's an emergency, I need my kids to be able to get to the wall and be like, beep, 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 get the phone out. Text me. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I need
well,
to.
what are we there for?
I'm gonna bust out this window and get my baby out
But
there.
what are we there for? If it's an
I
emergency
don't
at the campus,
know.
you don't need to drive to the campus.
Baby, I need to bust these windows open and get my child out of here. That's all I
I'm
know.
always asking parents. I'm not saying. And I saw Quenisha Speed say, I'm guilty. I text my kid. Stop texting your kid. I answer phones.
Let
I
me
answer the
text my child.
FaceTime in the middle of lunch. Daddy just chilling.
Baby, Quenisha Speed, I'm with you, honey, because I'm gonna be texting
Y'all ought
mine.
to stop that.
If she look, mine 2.5, she ain't even in school yet. I already know I'm gonna be texting.
I do not text Caden at school.
Why?
But for what? Those
Well,
people are
okay.
getting.
This is the thing, Rickyl. You taught elementary, I taught high school. Okay, so I think
I didn't teach elementary. I taught middle school.
middle school and then elementary. Okay, but I was at the high school level, and I feel like because I was, a lot of times I have a difference of opinion about. And now I'm in college. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a different idea about micromanaging because they so young. You know what I mean?
Listen. This
I'm
is the thing.
raising a mature kid.
Me too.
Who
My
gonna know how to
grandma has
help?
been here
She
before.
gonna put it in her bag and be responsible.
No, not if you texting her. And then here's the deal. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm okay with kids having. Look at Stevenson telling me I text Taryn all day, every day. Steve, you're awful. Okay, this is the thing. I would be okay if parents didn't reach out to the school before they jumped on social media. I think that's the thing that hurts my feelings the most. Like we're in this building every day in the trenches.
Yeah.
And when you get a text message about something, I wish we could just normalize not jumping to social media and
Maybe we need to normalize that outside of school. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother lie.
But do you know how hurtful that is to an administrator who's working hard, looking out for kids, and you look on social media, and this is whole thing is not the truth.
No, that's true. I'm with you on that. I think we need to normalize, stop hopping on social media before we have time to process our stuff in general. I had a moment earlier that I almost did. I've learned by the grace of God, I have learned to take it down, process my thoughts, and then reconsider, do I need to post now or not? But people, since you start talking about this, are starting to comment. So I'm going to show, there's a LinkedIn user. I don't know this person, but it says LinkedIn user. I think it helps to inform parents of the proper procedure for addressing issues on the phone, i.e., allow administrators to investigate the situation before they pop off. Okay. We with you, LinkedIn user. I don't jump on social media. I call y'all.
Go away.
Right, parents respond in panic mode. They do, and I should. That's my only one child.
Don't do that. You are awful.
I used to text mine even when we were in the same building. I was I would. I'm just telling you as a principal.
I guess for me, I just don't like the outroar of it. I don't like what he created.
I don't like the social media, and then everybody goes crazy, and then they don't have the facts yet.
Again, Stephanie, what are we here for? If your kid is a bus rider and you want them to walk home at this point, call the front office. That's what we're here for. Call us. We'll go tell them, hey, your mom wants you to walk home.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm with Stevenson on this because her kid got so much going on. See, schedules and stuff. We're trying to see who gonna ride with who. Oh, I had a change of plans. Ride with them. It'd be a lot going on. You know, I'm just okay. This is the last one. Ryan said a parent came and broke a window at the last high school I was at
See?
after a lockdown got to social media. That's me. I am her. My bad.
Stephanie, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Listen, I am not that parent. I am so big on that. Even my best friend Moshe was like, girl, I be texting Lee. I'm like, why?
My bat has been in my trunk since I was in high school. If you don't believe me, I have receipts. My bat is in the back in case of emergencies. If my kid is trapped in a classroom because something is popping off, I'm gonna go in there. I don't know if I'm gonna get shot by the shooter. I don't know.
That's just
I'm
like
going in there.
when we were in Lancaster and the
What room
tornado
are
hit.
you in? What room are you in?
No, ma'am. Remember we were in Lancaster and the tornado hit?
I do.
People were driving through the tornado to the... Why?
I wouldn't come for a tornado. I wouldn't come for a tornado. I would come. I don't want to die too. I would come if they told me something was popping off in the school and it was a lockdown. I would come.
What you gonna come to the lockdown for?
Let me tell you something. I'm not. All I'm gonna say is this is Texas. I got weapons and it's legal. That's all I'm saying.
I just listen. Okay, so
for mine.
I can tug and pull with the different opinions on cell phones. Me personally, I can't stand them. They cause campus disruptions. People filming fights, dropping this here and there.
They be filming sex. They be filming all kind of mess. Okay, I remember
intercourse. It's just awful. However, I want social media to change. That's a whole nother topic because we're talking about. And let me tell you, if educators could respond, people would stop posting. I'm just gonna leave that right there.
Yeah, that part. Okay, now I'm gonna say that I need to get this shirt that you have on because I'm from Lancaster.
Oh, you like this?
I like that.
Stormy McDaniel made this for me.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, wait. You know the screen is reversed. Okay, there. Yeah,
we graduated together.
That's my girl. She worked for me in Plumber.
Yeah,
so she made this for me. I love Stormy.
I'm gonna have to get that Stormy.
It's tie-dye too.
Oh, look, she had to stand up. That's cute. I'm gonna tell her I need to buy that. She need a shop because I live. Okay, so let me just say this is my last thing because Rickyl went off on a tangent.
No, I didn't. Your guest did.
Well, the first one was I said comment and let me know what topics y'all would like us to cover. But you don't want to miss this. So I have a couple of announcements. What's coming up in the Fresh Classroom? Next week on the 3rd, we have our spring workshop. It's in Dallas, Texas. It's going to be a day full of learning. Teachers get 6 hours CPE credit. We have an interactive PD experience. And then on top of that, you know, we always do a little something special for the folks. So just going to put that out there. It's not too late to register, but it's getting there. Okay. All right.
See, my kid is right here. And if the teacher called me and tell me he be doing something wrong, I'm not going to argue with her. I know he is.
Sometimes. Also on the website, thefreshclassroom.com, you can buy our latest book, The Fresh Classroom, Why Culturally Relevant Education Can't Wait. Don't go through Amazon no more. I have it up on my website because Amazon gets some of my money when you do that. But I will directly ship you the book now that we are selling direct through the website. All right. Last but not least, always remember that we have the ability to empower or disempower students with every interaction every single day. My prayer is that you will empower the students that you serve and that you will keep your classrooms more freaking fresh every day. Thank you so much to my special guests for the evening. Oh, Lord, why? These must be your people. Why they keep commenting?
Because I love these. We should be. You hear that? You hear that?
Your child said this is a wrap, baby.
We should have been off longer than 30 minutes. Yes, I love this. And also,
your child said it's over for you. Okay?
I need to always remember, if nobody's told you they love you today, I do. Oh, God.
You better help. Come on over here and say hi. You know you want to.
Girl, now he got soda on his shirt.
Oh, no, never mind. Don't come up. Don't embarrass your mama, honey.
Just be right there.
Look at this. Look at this.
Wait, the camera is reversed. Hurry up and get up here. If you want to get on.
Hi. Hey, we see you. What was that? What was that he said that time during that they had that show at his school? What was that song they was
Girl, I kept singing it over and over.
Dang. And you were some too. I can't even remember. But anywho,
we were at Taxi.
He's getting so big.
He is.
And spectacular. I see him shining on your face. You know, I'm Facebook auntie. You know how we do. Tap in, see what's going on the internet. But thank y'all so much for joining us. We could clown all night because, you know, I love to do it. But we're going to wrap it up now and let y'all enjoy your evening.
Yes, we should have went for 45 minutes.
Girl, it has been now. It's
30. It's been 39.
You know, we went a little long, but it's okay for the people because they was commenting.
Oh, that was fun. I just went. All the educators are working hard. The burnout is real. the burnout came earlier this year than any other year before.
Mm.
So if you are a principal out there, figure out each month or what to do for your staff to in to build them, to build their spirit, and get uncomfortable. I think that's what we do. I say, are you uncomfortable yet? When you're uncomfortable, it makes you a better teacher, a better leader. And so that's what we're doing at Carver.
All right now, y'all hold it down. I love to see it. Until next time, girl.
Bye, Stephanie. Thank you.
No problem. Bye.
All right, bye.
Mm-mm.